Yeah. Okay, go ahead.
So, yeah, I went with Flop. We went down there. It wasn't too bad. But he had a gift for Flop. That gift was two more pages. So I was given three of these journal pages, and Flop was given two. In that
Mm-hmm.
conversation, he also told us that Flop wouldn't was there was no harm that was ever going to come to Flop. I don't think he said ever, but no harm was going to come to Flop because Balto had made arrangements to make sure that wasn't going to happen.
How fucking kind of him, even though
Mm-hmm.
he was the one that got this started in the first fucking place.
Exactly. That's what I said. So anyway,
Yeah, but where was the guarantee for the rest of us?
I spoke to him afterwards. I asked him, even though Flop didn't really want me to, but I said,
To be clear, I'm just gonna cut you off. To be clear, he stayed to speak with him, not Alto. I want to
yeah,
make sure that's
Balto
clear.
wasn't there, yeah. And
Right.
Flop didn't talk to the guy. There was a very short exchange to clarify some things because Flop wasn't able to read his pages aloud. That was the only stipulation. And then Flop left. I asked him to leave because I wanted to talk to our friend alone. And I got some clarification that there wasn't going to be repercussions regarding these pages, that we weren't in any danger, that we as a family hadn't gone too far or done anything wrong, and we haven't, which is what I'm trying to get at here is that I don't believe this to be one of his deals. I don't believe this to be one of his games based off what I have read. And I've said this to Flop, and I'm saying this to you because I want advice about what to do. I believe this to be a goodbye, as messed up as it sounds.
But, I mean, there's still, my concern.
But we're having this
That,
conversation
I
with no
mean,
pants on.
if it's a goodbye for the vessel, because death ain't
Yeah,
going nowhere.
I said that. Which is why I'm asking advice. Because if it was just a goodbye and I thought that, I would hand the pages off and I would wash my hands. But this is the problem. My current concern, it's not much it's not much of a concern as such, but my current concern is that Norman is giving pages to people he might consider as replacements. Now, obviously,
Mm,
there is nothing to worry about when it comes to me, because I think Norman went into his position voluntarily, and I'm not going to go into that position voluntarily, and I know Flop isn't going to do that, right, son?
well, yeah. Can I ask you I want to throw a little wrench in what you're stating though. I don't know if that actually be true,
What's that?
right? He had a gift for me.
Yeah.
And during that conversation we found out that apparently uh
Am I allowed up here now?
No.
Absolutely not.
Okay.
Why'd you get rid of my anti-Ziggy thing?
What?
Fuck. Not. Stay the fuck over there.
Oh, okay.
Jesus Christ.
I'll
But
wave at you when it's okay to come back.
All right.
if he knew that I was, I don't want to use the word safe, but if he knew that I was safe, I guess I don't really know a better word to use. Why would he have given them to me?
Because this is what I'm saying, is that what Norman said to us 5 years ago is that he chose to become what he is now. He chose to become that vessel for death. So if he's giving these pages to people he considers possible candidates as replacements, you would have to choose to do it anyway. It doesn't matter whether you're protected or not. You're protected from him, you're protected from his deals, but that doesn't mean you can't make your own choice and go and step into his position once he's gone. That's what I'm on about.
I get that. I'm just trying to understand why that would entice me, I guess. I don't know.
I don't think...
I'm not saying your theory's wrong. I'm just trying
I'm
to play a
hoping
little
it's
devil's
not
advocate.
right, but to me it's... I don't know. I'm thinking whether or not... See, I don't know whether or not something like Norman needs to exist, right? So what I'm worried about and what I need advice on is honestly reading the pages. I want to help, as much as it sounds fucked up. I said it to Flo, but no matter if it was you, Etta, or if it was Flop in his position, if you had chosen to become something like that, no matter the bad things you had done, I'd still want to help you move on. And if this was your way of doing that, I'd want to help you. And Norman the person, again, I don't like that I'm feeling this way, but reading the pages I have, there is an element of me that feels sorry for him. That the position he's in is the only place he's ever felt at home. And now that's going away. And he's giving these pages to the only people he might have actually spoken to for prolonged periods of time since he died. That's
The
pretty
people
sad.
that he tortured and tormented and almost killed.
Yeah. I know it's not logical. I get it. But I just
In
keep
a
picturing...
very weird and twisted way. I understand. I understand what you're saying.
I will say this, and I know I said it to you before. I just want to remind you that because I know that we had this conversation already. While I get it, and I see it, and I understand it, this guy, based on what you have told me and based on what others have told me, latches onto the emotional side. And for lack of a better term, I don't want to see you used like a puppet for having an emotional side toward this.
Yeah. No, I get that. I just want to pass. I think all I want to do is pass these on. I don't want to get meddled into whatever comes after that. So the
You
risk
still
is
think of Jackie?
Jackie's the one who called me, so Jackie's the one I'm going to reach out to, yeah.
If
The
I'm
only issue
around,
is
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I've been trying to talk to Matt about this for the past few days, and I haven't caught him. I've been trying to talk to him about it, but I don't want to leave this any longer. You guys think he's going to be mad?
uh, that you willingly want to help the human vessel for death to cross over after he almost killed you and Flop.
Okay. I think the articulation is very important for Matt. I want to help the person that nearly killed us leave this plane of existence forever and fuck off. If I told Matt that, I think he'd be very happy, right? Because he'd be like, good
Okay.
riddance.
When you word it that way, yes.
Okay.
But then
I
he may
don't.
also hit you with the way I worded it too. So, um, I don't.
I don't.
But then he won't want you to do it alone.
The. This is my problem. You preach very heavily that you want me to be safe, and you preach heavily that you want me to stay out of it. And it does bother me a little bit to hear you say that you essentially want to aid in it based on a theory. And I don't necessarily disagree, but I also do not agree.
Well, I'm
Um
not aiding because of the theory. I'm aiding because of what I read and because of what I spoke to him about. Because I said it to him. I said it straight up. I thought it was a bad idea, but I said it anyway. I said to him, I stood next to that guy and I said, you know, Norman, there's better ways to say goodbye. And he said, yeah, you're probably right. So he realizes that this is the only way he can figure out how to do it. I can't listen. I get it. But I tried speaking to Ziggy about this the other day. It's hard for me because I don't like having sympathy for this guy. I don't like it. It it's conflicting, right? I don't like having
I
sympathy for
mean,
someone who tried to tear my family apart.
wasn't the man himself? Uh, wasn't he a bad person too?
Yeah, he was awful. He was just bloody serial killer.
So why does he deserve peace? Why does he deserve anything? But I don't know. Now the conversation that you and I had the other day makes a little bit more sense. We help people who may not deserve it because it speaks to our character and not theirs.
I don't think it's for us to decide whether or not someone deserves to be helped. We just do the helping.
God, we really are the last of a dying breed.
yeah, we're fucked.
I I don't like it. Everything about it sets my teeth on edge. I am trying to understand, but at the same time, I am filled with dread and terror at the thought of losing you.
Listen, if I'm right about people being replacements, then the only time I would ever consider that is if one of you guys was in danger. And I
And
just
what if
had
he
to do
sets it
that.
up? What if he
Well,
sets it up for exactly that, Richard?
he's not going to, because I've set it up perfectly to make sure none of you guys are involved.
That does
This,
not rest
none of,
easy for us, though.
but none of you guys are involved. None of you guys have made deals. None of you guys have tried to kill the bloke. Nothing, none of that's happened.
Except you're putting yourself in harm's way at that point. And you know who else did that? You're looking at him. Really work out well for me, did it?
Okay, listen, we don't need to go into the details, but I think we have a different opinion of what happened with you. Okay? I'm understand it either. But and it's not happening.
I really do.
Before a half convince him for another off-duty day. What do you think, Flop?
The place.
Tearing down, right?
And you're under.
Way.
Oh,
Okay.
thanks, guys.